The saxophone has 6 parts. The body, the primary part of the saxophone, contains the majority of keywork and is a resonance chamber of the instrument. By adding and subtracting keys, the length of the air column is changed, thereby changing the pitches. The neck attaches to the body of the instrument and houses a portion of the octave key mechanism, and is where the mouthpiece is attached. The reed is a sound generator. It is made out of perennial cane, plastic, or other synthetic material. The mouthpiece is a connector that allows air to pass through the saxophone and, with the aid of the reed, produce a sound. The key components to the mouthpiece are the table, tip, facing, and chamber. A number of materials can be used to produce a mouthpiece, including hard rubber, plastic, and metal. The ligature secures the reed to the mouthpiece and allows the reed to vibrate freely. Although traditionally made of metal, ligatures are also made out of leather, plastic, wire mesh, or string. And lastly, the neck strap. It is a key component to playing the saxophone. If used properly, it bears the weight of the instrument. A neck strap or harness that supports the instrument on top of the shoulders rather than the neck of the musician is recommended for beginning players. The neck strap should be clipped on first, followed by the reed, mouthpiece, and lead pipe. This is to prevent accidental drops. The unplug should be removed first. After the lead pipe is attached, assemble the mouthpiece like so, with the reed slightly below the edge of the mouthpiece. When maintaining correct posture and hand position on the alto saxophone, the left thumb should be in contact with the octave key plateau at all times. When required, the thumb will gently rock toward the octave key. This is an important point, as many young players will often lift the thumb away from the plateau. The right thumb is placed behind the thumb hook. Do not tense the thumb into the instrument, but rather use the thumb as a guide. The saxophone embouchure can best be described as round with even pressure all the way around the circle. Having students form the letter O is an effective way to initiate the physical gesture of forming the embouchure. The chin should be flat, but not taut. The top teeth should be placed on the mouthpiece, and the lower lip should curl slightly over the lower teeth, forming a cushion upon which to place the mouthpiece and the reed. Do not use more lip than is necessary, but most importantly, have a clear understanding of the difference between lip and chin. The saxophone has ample pitch flexibility. High notes tend to play sharp, and lower pitches tend to play flat. Particularly on sharp notes, the saxophone must remember to maintain a well-rounded embouchure, but can slightly relax the embouchure and direct the air downward to bring down the pitch. It is not recommended for students to adjust pitch with significant or regular embouchure, tongue, or air manipulations. Again, students should maintain a well-rounded embouchure, keep the tongue in an OO position, and use a cold air stream to maintain proper tune. Over time, a saxophone can leak through the pads. Students can purchase a leak light, which is an LED fixture that is lowered into the horn and is used to identify tone holes with gaps between the pads. What this method lacks, however, is the ability to see if a pad is lowering onto the tone hole evenly on all sides, so it can be relatively inaccurate in this manner. Students can, however, play the instrument and notice an airy tone over time. This is a sign of a leak. Some recommended brands of saxophone for beginners are Yamaha, Jupiter, and Vito. Intermediate players can move up to LeBlanc or Selmer. More advanced students can play on a Mendini, John Paul, or some higher-end Yamahas. On the saxophone, like many other woodwind instruments, there are some alternative fingerings that may help in certain passages of music. Instead of alternating between the B and C keys, the B key can be held down and adjusted with the side C key. An alternative to B flat is B flat bis, useful in cases that do not involve fast transitions from B flat to B or C. An alternative F sharp is the fork F sharp. Use the fork F sharp fingering when F sharp is adjacent to an F natural. This keeps you from having to flip your first and second fingers in your right hand. To use the fork fingering, finger F natural, and then press the fork key with your ring finger in your right hand. It is important that you press the key with the very tip of your finger. In order to keep a healthy saxophone, you must clean the instrument, neck, and mouthpiece after every use. Use a lint-free cloth to wipe off the inside of the neck and the body of the horn after each use. Grease and dirt accumulate over time, and this will assist with the ease of connecting joints. Therefore, after you clean the spit and debris out of the mouthpiece every day, you should store the neck and the mouthpiece in the proper place or inside the bell with a sock or neck bag. Always put the end plug back into the instrument. Apply grease to the neck cork as necessary, and look for springs or post screws that may have come out. Always lift the instrument by the bell when removing it from its case, and lacquer cleaning or cotton cloths only if attempting to polish the instrument. Any saxophone can be damaged in extreme conditions of heat or cold. Never keep a saxophone in a vehicle in any season. Avoid placing the saxophone near heat or air conditioning vents.